Welcome everybody to Toronto Electronic Music Producers monthly meetup. We are streaming live September, and thank you everyone for joining. We got some new faces and some returning faces joining us. We're streaming to YouTube, and we meet usually once a month or 10 to 11 times per year. And we basically are a collective of electronic music producers. We basically share music, randomly select a playback, and give feedback. So that's more or less the extremely short form overview of our group. And so basically, yeah, we started off in person in the Toronto area about 10 years ago. And then several years back, when we had all that COVID stuff happening, we went online, and we stayed there ever since. So I'm just showing off this new visor here. Hold it up to the camera. Oops.
Oops.
You disappeared.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
Yeah.
magic trick.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, we're testing out some new merch here, guys. But anyway, and yeah, so basically, welcome once again. Excited to see you all. Hope you guys had a good summer. Last month, we sort of took a month off for summer holiday purposes. And I was just explaining before we kickstarted the stream that I may do this every year. We'll take August off maybe, and then we'll do a meetup in December. Typically, we take December off, but I'm thinking this year I'll reverse it, because gotta maximize the good weather in the summer here in Canada, right? So, in the winter, I'm thinking I got a lot of time on my hands indoors, and you know what I mean. And in August, it's fun to get away and be outside a little bit. So that's all about that. So yeah, we have a pretty good turnout tonight. Welcome once again. I see Peter, not to put you on the spot, and Low Fidelity. You guys seem to be new to the group. Welcome. Glad you could join us.
Second time.
Oh, second time. Okay,
Yeah.
Peter. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No problem. Last time I had some camera and audio issues, but we figured it out by
Oh,
the end of it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yes, now I remember. Cool, cool. Well, it's good to see you again. Yeah, so if you haven't done so already, send a link to your music to the email that's in the meetup. I can put it here in the chat actually. Basically, temper, TEMPR at mailfence.com. And
Can
then,
you, Lenny, can you put the YouTube link in the chat too again, please? I know you probably did it, but
yeah,
I
of
just
course, of
thank you.
course. This is actually the straight to the unique video.
live stream.
So, yep. So, I'm gonna just take one last look at the email. Speaking of which, and so Andrew, I see you just sent something in here. Okay, good. So when I share my screen to spin the wheel, if you don't see your name, don't worry, I can add it. I've just been adding people who've sent in music, basically, right? So I figure that way it makes sense. So if you haven't sent in a link yet, make sure you do that if you want to share music. It's optional too. There are people that sometimes want to join and they just want to listen in. That's perfectly fine. So absolutely no problem. I just saw the note there as I'm speaking. Yeah, no worries at all. So it's very normal for people to just want to join in. But we all obviously want to give the opportunity to those that do want to share, obviously. Uh, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen then. And we'll just kickstart it. So I got, these are all the names I saw so far. So Jill, I didn't see anything from you either.
No, I don't have anything this month, so I'm just going to be listening for about an hour or so.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel then. But like I say, if you have anyone that wants to send in music that has not already, we can add you. Alrighty, so Richard, good to see you again. How are things with you? And you're on mute, by the way. Oh.
Right. I'm having Google sign-on issues for YouTube. I am fine. It's been a few months, and it's good to be back and good to see friendly faces, familiar faces. Been busy through the summer. I had an album release in June-ish. I can put the link in the chat.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's good.
Staying busy. Started a new project, and I made this doodle, and I sent it in to you, Lenny, so we can listen to it tonight.
Yeah. Let's give it a listen then, and we'll get back to talking about it. Okay, so go check out the YouTube link, and if anyone has
forget
any
to mute.
issues, just throw a message in the chat. We'll keep an eye open for it. But without any further ado, I will go ahead and play Richard's music.
Yeah, and don't forget to mute.
Wow, great way to start off the night, Richard. You really set the table for us. Excellent tune.
Yeah, we're still catching up to the sound, but yeah, great track. Good start. I'm sure you're gonna work on the mix and stuff, but yeah, just I'm impressed at the way that you can weave things together to make it just sound like there's 5 people playing. Not just you. So good job of like putting all the parts together and arranging that into what feels like to me a live jam session or
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I really enjoy going out and hearing jazz live, and when I'm listening to what you're doing, it sounds like a live jazz act, and I really appreciate it because for someone like me, I'm always trying to get more of that organic feel like you have, but you're sounding like you're capturing everything live, and it works so well together.
That is awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Because, of course, it's not live. It's all pieced together and edited, and it's great when it all comes together, right? It's based, so I got this new drum machine rhythm software called BFD 3 version 3, and that it's in 5/4 and it's 143 beats a minute, um, and it was built it was built on that little drum part that was so intriguing, and so yeah, it was a big challenge and it feels really smooth, and so I'm happy with how it's coming out.
When did you start on it?
Probably mid-August.
Okay,
Been
so about a
been
month.
tinkering on it more than a month. I've probably been
Yeah,
tinkering with it, and then
yeah.
last weekend, I mixed it for the first time and listened to it. And
Hmm.
so I've been working on the mix. So it's very preliminary.
Yeah, I was gonna say the drum. We were talking about the drums and the percussion. I really liked that, but it just felt like it was a little bit too far back. It needs to be a bit more prominent in the mix, but yeah, I'm sure you'll get there.
I would love to remove the drum machine and have a drum play it,
Yeah.
but I can't seem to make that happen, and so this is the best I can do. So
What
I really liked how you set your stereo in the headphones. It sounded incredible. Just put us right into the mix. Well done on the stereo imaging there. And I love that. As always, you're always meandering with your with your songs, and like other people
I
said,
take
it sounds.
I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
It totally is, because it's
Meander.
meandering, and it's done in a very smooth way. And that's why it sounds like some people just jamming and having a good time and gelling together. Well done, as always.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to find that Shakti vocalist and have him hire him to put some vocals on this one.
I was wondering if Brian Holtz would do a guitar part or something,
Hmm.
maybe.
Ian Holtz.
He might.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, very breezy, airy, I would call it. It kind of reminds me of a summer jam too. Like I wouldn't consider this like necessarily like in the dead of winter. Like it felt like, you know what I mean, fair weather anyway. If not full blown summer, at least kind of pleasant. Not and very clean mix. And I think we take it for granted when you come to the table, Richard, because your music often, if not always, frankly, up to this point, has that quality about it, which is really nice. So very clean.
Great.
What made you decide on 5/4 time?
Well, like I say, I got new software, and so I'm just, channeling through the voices, and then I landed on this riff, and I thought, well, how intriguing, and that was August, So I
So
haven't.
was that, had you written anything or played in 5/4 before?
No,
No. Did you?
no, I don't. I don't think so. No.
Any challenges?
Well, it took a month and a half to crank out 3 minutes. Maybe.
It's
It took
it's
me,
not a
you know.
it's not a common time signature for commercial music, right? Now, jazz,
Oh well,
yeah, so
what's commercial about it? That wasn't the intention. I just
yeah,
there was a
no,
riff, and I followed the riff, and that's what it came
yeah.
out with.
Oh,
So
that's cool. And have you at other times played with your different time signatures like that?
I dropped a link in the chat, and it's a YouTube, since we're in YouTube, and the last recording is called Baroque. I think it's the first one that's listed there,
Mm-hmm.
and the first piece there, it experiments with some other time signatures.
Excellent.
Check that one out.
Interesting.
Okay, thank you. I'm just copying it into my files here.
I hope you
Yeah,
enjoy it. It's
I
so
bought that
it's
one. It's a great album. You did a good job putting the pieces together. Yeah, and then
thanks a lot.
I gave him a bit of a review. My favorite song, I think, is the fourth one. I can't remember. What
Oh,
was that one I mentioned?
the pseudo live recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
added
wanted to.
some kind of
I wanted to do a live recording, so I just
yeah.
made one.
Yeah, so he added like some crowd ambience and stuff like that, people clapping, and it really fits. I mean, it just feels like you're sitting in a live concert, hearing your stuff. So yeah,
That was
I'd
cool.
recommend the whole album. I bought it on Bandcamp, I think, or something. Or
And
no, I bought it on Apple Music. Yeah,
which album did you say plays around with time signatures?
Baroque.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one.
And by the way, folks, say the last two, Auslander and Baroque, probably all of those pieces at some point made an appearance at TEMP. While they were in development. So that's been like the last 2 or 3 years there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
we are the invisible hand in the music business these days, so
Mm-hmm.
never underestimate temp. But no, honestly, it's a really great stuff, Richard, and I don't know, we're blessed to have you as a member because you're very talented, and really appreciate the quality of even you're very articulate too, by the way. I don't know if that's a second career that you have, perhaps, but if it isn't, you could, if you're looking for one, I'm sure you're not, but you'd be good at broadcasting. You have like the voice.
I have a broadcasting degree, which I've never really pursued,
For real?
but it is sort of the basis of my interest in all the devices and the machines from way back.
Wow. Okay, I was just shooting in the dark there, but there you go. Okay.
I've been recording for 40 or something years, so. But we could do this temp in Mexico City, and we can do it totalmente en español también, so we could do.
Oh
Muy
man,
bien, muy bien.
now you're shaming me. Espanol. Okay. Cool.
Count me in. I'm on my way.
Me too.
Mexican techno.
Yeah, Mexico. Are you going to Mexico? Is that why you mentioned it?
I've been going to Mexico for the last few years. I know I've talked with Gilles about this in the past. He's also a traveler. But yes, I've been to Mexico City, Guadalajara, Puebla, Oaxaca, Mérida.
No, the last two places I haven't been.
Muy bien. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Need to go to those places.
Cerveza, por favor. That's what I learned right away. Awesome.
Well,
okay.
The thing now is mezcal, by the way, Lenny. So just
I'm out of the dates. Is that like a kind of new drink?
it's another cactus derivative.
old
Gilles
drink?
can tell you all about it.
It's like tequila.
It is god awful.
It's strong. It's so strong.
Yeah.
I think it
tequila-
would qualify as an acquired taste, I think.
Oh, okay.
I found it a transcendental experience for sure. I don't drink anymore.
Wow.
Well, go on. Thanks. Appreciate all the attention. It's great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you once again. Okay, Peter, I added you to the list. I saw your email there, so let's spin the wheel. Okay. All right, I'll just go ahead and play the tune. I don't know that there's much I want to say about it ahead of time, but I don't know, just something I had fun with, I guess. I did use a sample. I'll throw this out there. So the main riff was inspired by, and I literally used it, but then I tried to like twist it around and mangle it and all that. So it'll make more sense after hearing it. So let's give it a whirl.
All right, don't forget to mute.
That's pretty wicked there, Lenny.
Yeah, thanks.
Very
Thanks.
good, very good.
Yeah, that was quite unique, especially the first third was like quite a different sound. I
Yeah,
liked it.
so that's I'll explain a bit the sample. So the beginning part, basically, because the original music I think was like 130 BPM around there, 120. So more or less two-thirds of what I use. Like I'm either, you know what I mean? I'm like 174 or like 87. So it's like it's an awkward time to squeeze. So I made it into 6 bars using the original tempo, and then I added 2 pieces to it, if that makes any sense to you. So I made it 8 bars, but I didn't actually adjust the tempo because I like that sound. But I had to find a way to like find closure. But I do find it's a bit odd because it's kind of like it's
No, no,
there,
it
but it's
worked.
not.
No,
And the
no, it worked
original,
really well.
yeah, the original has like those chords that are a little bit off too, by the way. But like for
The
example,
detuned chords.
where it landed, sometimes I would have to shift it so that it would land at least on the downbeat or whatever. So I played around with it. So it has like some naturally weird timing. And then with the drums that come in, I know what you mean with the beginning. Like I heard this the other day, right? I was working on it, and I went for like a smoke or whatever. And I come back and I listen to this tune. I'm just like, what the hell was that? Like it blew me away, to be honest with you. Like the intro was very seductive to me. I was like, wow, this really grabs you, and you're not really sure where it's gonna go. And it
Yeah.
kind of has resolution, and yet in a way it doesn't, and you're kind of not sure exactly what's going to happen next, and has like that natural sound. So that sample really has like that natural, and it does have like a warmth, but it has a grittiness to it, right?
Mm.
So I thought, what if I do a drop and it just goes totally gritty? You know what I mean? So it plays off the kind of gritty synth sound. And I just kind of went with it. To be honest with you, I didn't know what else to do. I was just like, I actually at one version went back to the intro, but I don't know. I'm gonna see about if I'll sit on it for a few days and see if like the structure sounds all right. But I'm pretty sure I could use this in a DJ mix as is, though. To be honest with you, like it would be no problem to mix with this track. But anyway, that's my speech. Like that's my. And so in terms of the original sample, I just lifted it from my YouTube. To be honest with you, so I don't even know what the original tune is. Even I just heard it, and I just thought, wow, this is very powerful, and be cool to try to make a drum and bass tune with it, basically. Because the original was more like I say, maybe more of a dubstep kind of a deal, perhaps you could call it.
Well, it sounds like you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, yeah, it's a journey, you know. Um, I do a lot of side chaining, as you guys know, so that's the other thing on the drop to just give it a little bit of extra punch. I side chain the kicks basically, so
Hmm.
and gives it a little bit more.
Yeah, they were definitely cutting through the mix. So yeah, good job on that. Yeah, the mix sounded really nice too. I mean,
Mm.
your stuff is sounding a lot more professional. Um, I would say in the last year, got getting a good handle on the mix side of things.
Yeah, like I say, the DJ tools really,
Hmm.
I've been mentioning this a lot, but it's really opened up a lot of, even actually delay. That's a very simple one, but I sometimes look for variations, and I also like the fact that it's a little bit off, and like at the end, if you will, like it would stop, and you would do be like bits and pieces or whatever, and so just I think personally, from performance wise, you get a feel for sometimes how things translate. You know what I mean? As opposed to when you're composing, you have like this sort of, in my world, I had a very like structured approach, if you will, to like composition. But then performance, it's like everything is more like tactile. You're kind of like doing things, and that interplay with like the effects or whatever, I think I've worked
Hmm.
that back into my composition or whatever. I'm trying to keep that feel. You know what I mean? Where it's like it
Hmm.
feels more live, if you will. So it works sometimes just to try that out. Like, and then there's distortion. You know what I mean? Like you can always have fun with distortion when all else fails.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So Anyway, that was basically the idea with that, and yeah, like I don't really still fresh, so I'm still trying to, I'll see over the next few days. Maybe I'll make a longer version, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah,
Yeah, I
thanks
think
for
you could.
listening.
I think you could extend this one.
Yeah, it's a bit sudden of an abrupt ending. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
could definitely, work on that. But like I say, within the context of a DJ mix, it's definitely workable. But you know, it seems like these days you have to sort of have two audiences. On the one hand, something for me anyway, from the kind of music I'm doing, something that works with the DJ mix, and that's something that's not going to kill the listener either. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because you could have an extended version of a tune that a DJ can appreciate. And I know a lot of you guys have patience and you guys can handle, like a 20-minute mix of something, right? But not your average person is not going to appreciate that as much. They want to have something more like coherent, right? So, and it's, and the trend in general, like I talk with a lot of other DJs, right? And Juan, aka DJ Dextra, he's like an old school vinyl DJ, and he can't believe how short tunes are these days. Like he's
Oh
complaining
yeah.
all the time. He's like, I get a tune and it's 2 minutes long. He's like,
Hmm.
the intros used to be 2 minutes on a DMB track back in
There's
the
no such
day. You know what
thing
I
as a
mean?
solo or instrumental anymore.
Yeah. So, you know, it's kind of, something I prefer like 3, 4, actually 4 minutes now tends to be at least my minimum. But
Hmm.
even that, you could make the case is short compared to the old time tunes. But anyway, enough talk. Thank you again. Appreciate
Hmm.
the feedback. Already, Lawrence, I don't know if he joined actually.
Yeah, I didn't
He
see anything.
sent me an email. Uh, man, it's a good tune. I listened to his tune. Let's wait a while. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If he shows up, we'll just spin the wheel again. I'd rather play a tune when the person is there, right? Obviously.
Hmm.
So maybe I'll leave it in. And we'll see if it comes up again. If it gets annoying, I'll just remove it. All right, Andrew.
Andrew, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Had a great summer. You know what I did? Yeah, so this track is not particularly new, but it's not that old. It's about 6 months old, I think. I was kind of in a when I named it, and I was kind of in a slump with my love life, so I named it "Love Sucks," and
Hmm.
it's just it's not a dance track, but it kind of just makes you want to maybe bop your head a little bit, makes you groove a little bit. Um, it's kind of neutral in terms of mood. It's not happy, it's not sad, and I don't know, Lenny, if you want to let her rip, and we'll see what everyone has to say later.
Just remind me, is this a SoundCloud?
Yeah,
Or
SoundCloud.
it is, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget to mute.
Yeah, well, just give me
Yeah.
10 seconds. So we gotta just. I copied this. I was sure of it. Copy link
I'll
address.
give you 20 seconds.
You have 20 seconds. What was that song? It's not 20 seconds actually. You
31
have 30
seconds.
31 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
31 seconds.
That was classic drum and bass.
Yeah, yeah. Why is it asking me to sign in? Fucking. Okay. Oh no, it's good. Okay. I am good to go. So let's give it a listen.
All right. Thanks, Len. Yeah, so that's kind of my indifferent feeling toward love at
Well,
the
that's what
moment.
it
Well,
takes
at
to
least you
get a
got a track
winner.
out of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it
how
does
I look
capture.
at it
I
anyway.
think it does capture the feeling because, like you said, kind
Hmm.
of neutral. It's not too down and out, and that's not what you're after. So I think, from my perspective, it captured what you're after.
Okay, thanks.
Well, I always like your 80s sound. It always brings me back to the 80s and a lot of the club sounds. I saw, Phil was saying The Cure, and I got a number of different bands that I could think of that, of the sounds that you were bringing forward. So I always have a fond memory of that and enjoy your music for the 80s and those sounds.
Yeah, I was going to say that I put a comment in there on the bass pad synth kind of towards the end of the song before you do that break it up, kind of open it up section toward the end. It could just be a little bit more in the mix, a little bit higher,
Okay.
because it just felt like it was there. I loved to hear more of it, that
Yeah, I
bottom
like
end.
that too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're talking about the bass and then three quarters of the way in, right?
It's just like it's like a sub. It's almost like a
It's
sub synth at the end.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're
No,
talking
no,
about.
no. It's almost like a pad sound. It's just like a,
Bum, bum,
just doing the. Yeah, yeah,
bum,
yeah.
bum, bum,
Exactly.
bum, 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 bum. Okay. I
Yeah,
think I know that one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So
Just
that
bring it up in the
level.
mix a little bit.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the lead sounds were there. The mid was okay, but then and I even checked it on my monitors here or on my analyzer, and it was just seemed a little bit low in that one section. So
Okay.
yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
tried boosting that up a bit.
I put the comment that the beat. I don't know if I articulated it in the chat so well, and I don't know even if verbally I will be articulating it so well, but it had a contrast to me. Like it had like this kind of repetitive, but more like I don't know, urban kind of and I don't know the quantizing if you were like a little bit loose with the quantizing or but
Are you talking about?
I like the fact that the beats sounded sometimes like I don't know. There was like a track I
Yeah, it
think
was a
Phil
bit.
Collins did it one time where it feels
Mhm.
like it's almost off a little bit, but but it's
Well,
not.
the
It
snare would
worked.
be on, and the snare
Mhm.
would be on, but the bass was. I think I did that free because it would be like boom, 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 boom,
Right.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Right.
It felt like it
I
was being
think.
done by hand, and but like it was
Yeah.
nice. It actually worked. Like I think that's like and you were able to pull it
Yeah,
off. So there's like kind of a
it didn't feel
contrast.
robotic. It didn't feel robotic. It was a bit more organic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
nice. It
Cool.
was a good you know difference. And in terms of a lot of the electronic music that's produced, sometimes something like that wouldn't be done, but you managed to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's part of your. It's nice, and then it's kind of like maybe that's what gives the mood of that track. Like if you would
Hmm.
have switched out that beat, I bet you the mood would change like way different. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah. If I
made
did
that,
like a 4 on the
it was just like
floor,
a four on the floor. It would have been like, you know what I mean? But
I don't
Hmm.
yeah,
know if that would
it,
have.
it had like, but yeah, no, it's very well done. I like it.
Thanks, Plenty. That's it. That's great to hear.
Just one thing I wanted to add. I really enjoyed at the beginning how you panned the elements and it was a bit separated, gave it a bit of space. I felt it lost a bit of that in the middle. I wish it had continued, or you could have separated some of the other elements. But
Okay.
Good
like
point.
around the middle, I was in the groove. It was really good. I was like, I'm missing that kind of separation where I can hear different components. But that might also be me because I like the really clean mixes where everything's separated really well.
Hmm.
So that might just be
Are you
personal
staying? Are you
preference.
staying like stereo imaging, left and right between different sounds? Like, should I separate them or?
Well, again, that's up to you. I really enjoyed at the very beginning that it was
Okay.
separated and then it kind of
Yeah.
blended back together. And I liked when it was separated, but that was just, again, it might have been my preference.
Okay. Well, I'll revisit that. Thanks for your input. Um. Yeah. Okay.
and you said when did you make this? Like a while ago, you said?
Yeah, about 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I finished it about 6 months ago, so I was probably working on it for about I don't know, 2 months, something like that. But I don't really keep track of how long I work on things. I just, if it's done and it makes it sounds good, then I tend to put it up for SoundCloud for the world to hear. And then at least my legacy is online somewhere.
For
And
sure.
something you may want to try, because I was listening to the track and I wonder what would happen if you lay back the claps for a portion, so that when they come back in, it takes us by surprise again, because they seem to be. I think they are throughout the song, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just play around with either, maybe even filtering them, or just dropping them completely at an appropriate time, so that if you have a drop, I can't remember if there's an actual drop in the song, then just bring them back in, just so that it doesn't become a monotonous sound.
Yeah. Okay.
Something to think
Fair
about.
enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Could
you
do.
want to put the SoundCloud link in the chat there, Andrew? There's a
Me?
request.
Oh
Yeah.
man. If I could, I would. uh
Oh, you have difficulty to do that?
yeah, my technical difficulties. I'm on my cell phone.
On the cell phone, eh? Yeah. No, I can appreciate, man. It's
It's in the link in the meetup group. It's on the meetup page. There's a link there.
I'm on multiple computers here. It's a lot. It's hard to describe, but for me
I'll try to
you
put
know what I
in.
mean?
I'll try to post his
So
link.
I have to like email and stuff, but I can do it. We'll throw it in there.
No,
But
don't worry.
yeah, but yeah, excellent work, Andrew. I tend to think we take things for granted. I just want to throw it out there. I know that a lot of times, even though Andrew may have made like 1,000 bangers in a row, I'm sure each new tune you're still working, right? Like it's not like it's a guarantee. You're not like just like on
Well, I have
autopilot,
that.
like hitting a button. Like I just want to say, because like a lot of times people that do that with me, they're like, "Oh, you're good." I'm like, "You don't understand. At any given moment, this could all fall apart." Like, I'm glad that you're so confident that everything I do is like like meets your quality standards, but it's not easy, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I actually am working. You know what I mean?
Well,
Maybe for yourself it's different, but I know a lot of people out there. I think we get used to artists being like geniuses in general. Like I'm not, I'm just saying, and you just think, oh, this guy's got it easy. He's like freaking born naturally talented, and all he's got to do is wake up in the morning, and you know what I mean. When you don't realize, like that guy is working probably 5 times harder than you and me, and has the same issues we have. You know what I mean? Like the same freaking, like I don't know. It's probably more. It could be just my own self, but I just sometimes think other people have it easier when in reality we're all in the same boat. You know what I mean? And it makes me really appreciate those artists that are able to hit like those high levels. Because you're like, this mortal has like freaking, you know what I mean? Has gone up the has been challenged and has met the challenge, right? So kudos to you, Andrew, for your consistency.
thanks, man.
But just to say, like, we
Hey,
can't just take these
everybody.
things for granted. That's all.
I don't take anything for granted. It's just I'm not really competent enough on the computers to figure out how to get my. I'd have to back out, copy, paste link, and
Oh,
then
you want the
back in.
links, dude? I'll do it.
Yeah, I
It's
put
gonna
it in
take time.
there.
You
I put it in
there?
the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The link is there. We found you.
Right
Thank
on,
you,
right
thank
on.
you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. I'm
sorry
I'm
for my.
challenged with smartphones. I just want to, just in case anyone out there feels like a tech boomer, I just want to say, like, I'm really good with computers, and I hate smartphones. Like, I'm useless, man. You give me a smartphone, and my brain is just like, what? Well, actually, my eyes. I have to like, it's like, what? I have give me the magnifying glass. So have some, give us some slack because not everyone who's good with a computer is good with a phone. And the weird part is, I work in telecom. This is the worst part. But like I work on freaking call center enterprise telecom. You know what I mean? It has nothing to like an IP end device is like, I don't know. Might as well be a calculator. Like it just you know. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent here. Okay, guys, gonna get the show back on the road here. Jeff,
That's me.
how are things?
Yeah, things are okay. Yeah. So this one here is I don't know what I think about this one. I started off with this sound that I kind of liked. I was using I'm in Logic, so I was using Alchemy, and I was using a certain synth sound, putting a pitch bend in it, and then shifting into a different set of synth parameters. And I kind of like that, and then I decided that that would be something I would form a song around. And then I never really used an arpeggiator before, so I decided, oh, let me do that because there's this sound I kind of like that I've heard people get from an arpeggiator. So I managed to create a sequence loop and pull that in, and then once I had it into a MIDI format, I could change it around a little bit by changing the level, transposing it up, or just cutting it and changing the notes. So that became a bit of a fill, some texture, a bit of a transition point. I'm not so sure how I am on the drums. It's kind of a mixed thing. I haven't spent enough time on it. I'm not sure how I feel about the overall mix, but then I brought some strings into it. So I call it, I think, what did I call it? Something strung up. That's what I called it. Yeah, strung up. That's
Strung along, actually. I'm
strung
looking at it.
along. Okay,
Yeah,
there it is. Yeah, strung
yeah.
along. And
That could be
so,
the
Quit
second
stringing us along and play it. No, I'm just kidding.
okay, that's it. Now, let's get down to business. Okay, take it away, Lenny.
Alrighty, let's get a listen.
Don't forget to mute.
Nice tune. I liked it.
Well, thank you.
Kind of
So
reminded me of a harmonica in a weird way. The kind of,
interesting.
you know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like a, you know, not literally, but the similar, you know,
I didn't think
sound
about
quality.
that, but yeah, yeah, I see it. Or I was even thinking of the therium kind of sound, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Theremin, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, like that
theremin.
film, The Theremin, right? Like that.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I
Phil,
mean, it just, yeah, I was just saying the lead, I like the lead sound. It just felt a little bit too strong in the mix for me.
mm-hmm.
And maybe add a touch of reverb to it or something to give it a bit of space. But
So,
that was my only,
so if
yeah.
yeah, but that's good perspective for me because that was what
Hmm.
I started with. That was the basis
Hmm.
of where I started coming in with this, and I liked it
Hmm.
so much that it was so loud and powerful that
Yeah,
I was always hesitant in bringing it, reducing it at all. But I
yeah.
appreciate
I
the
think
feedback.
I would just back it up a touch, maybe a decibel or two, and
Okay.
add a touch of reverb on it or something to give it a bit of space, or almost like what you did with the percussion where you had just a couple of the hits had reverb on it.
Mm.
Maybe you could automate like the reverb going on and off on that a little bit on the
Well,
lead
I got to
sound to
thank
just
you
kind of
for
give it some
that.
interest.
Thank you for that feedback for tonight, but also
Hmm.
the feedback on the, the reverb hits. That was you
Yeah.
and Tiny Bites were really talking to me about that. So it's
Hmm.
something that I've explored a bit, and I started to understand how I could do it a bit better this round. I've not been
Hmm.
able to really bring it into my song like I got tonight. That was one thing
Hmm.
that I was happy about. So I thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, it adds a bit of interest to that percussion portion where you have that constant rhythm and then you throw a little bit of a flourish on a couple of the hits. It kind of
Yeah,
it
yeah,
tickles your brain a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, and that's often my issue is because I gotta not I gotta work at not sounding canned,
Hmm.
and so that kind of feedback about the reverb on certain notes
Hmm.
or just breaking the rhythm, and so
Hmm.
uh, it was more or less, you got a certain track on the drums just to work with, but then to go back later and to make it sound interesting and to vary it up a bit. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Great stuff. Go ahead and spin the wheel. Alrighty, Peter.
Yeah, so this one I made a couple months back, and I'm currently suffering from dealing with a very simple melody that I just can't get myself out of. So I get stuck in very simple melodies. And this is one of the songs where I felt the other elements were good and the melody was the thing that was just simple and everything else just fit really well. So the past few months I've just been stuck trying to go through more active listening, just listening to different genres, trying to figure out where I'm going. At the moment, this is where I'm still stuck. So I keep returning back to this song, listening to it and being like, I like this, but I can't get away from it as well. So uh, hopefully there might be some feedback to see where I can go from here.
Okay, yeah, we'll certainly give it a try, and let's give it a listen.
Don't forget to mute.
Well, I really like the song. I really like what you've got there. I thought that I I really like the song and what you've done. The composition is really great. I could have seen you building in at the beginning for even a bit longer in the first opening parts, but to
Mhm.
get louder much faster and much more powerful. Like it's got everything, but I wanted the like it needed to bust open and bring that power and the excitement that's just lurking behind there.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And it
I
could
think
just be
it's.
the
Oh,
kicks.
sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
no, no, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it sounds a bit muffled. Like the high end is lacking a little bit of crispness and brightness. The bottom end of the mix sounded good to me. Lenny had a comment about the drums, which I think could probably uh, be improved as well. But the overall mix is low. It was like 6 decibels lower than most everybody else's tracks here. So
Mm.
I don't know if you're what you're mixing on or if you're doing any mastering yet on this track, but it just seems to be the overall volume is pretty low on it. I mean, when I turn it up, it sounds great, but I just notice on my meters it's low. So
Yeah, that could be maybe also what I'm commenting on. So I'm saying kicks, but it
uh,
could be the whole mix could be low. It could be the whole
yeah,
bass layer feels low.
hmm
And I say
yeah.
that because it sounded so good. You know what I mean? Like I wanted
Mm-hmm.
it. Like
Yeah,
just
Well,
yeah.
echoing what
yeah,
Jeff
the
said. That's
track
like
is
it's not a criticism. Like it's actually a really great track, but you really want to feel it, like Jeff was saying. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
whatever it is, some type of mastering. I don't know. It
There's
could
some
be.
power lurking behind there,
Hmm.
you know. But when I was first coming to this group, my levels, I had no comprehension of where my levels should be. Where do you know where you are? Like Phil said, you're down about six, which means maybe you're about what
Yeah. I mean,
minus 17 or 16.
it
So
was yeah, it was around -12 on mine,
Oh,
but
yeah,
just FYI.
my drums are usually around -12, which is quite
Hmm.
low. Well, it depends on what you're doing. And the bass is around -18.
mm.
Hmm.
And so
What
everything
is
is quite low.
what DAW are you using?
Ableton.
Ableton. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can push it. I mean, throw like a limiter on there or maximizer, and work with your mastering component of it. I think the mix overall and mix EQ the high end. Put a high EQ shelf on there and boost that up a little bit because you're just lacking the crispness or the when I hear a commercial track
Hmm.
that's in this genre, it just there's some crispness and brightness on the top end that was missing in yours. But
So
overall, great track. Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, that's the thing is that the you're putting together the song is great. Lenny could speak to this more, but I mean, a lot of times when Vosto's in, you and he are talking like if you were at a club or that, don't you need like 9 or 10 luffs?
Well,
Often,
it
if
doesn't
you're
hurt. That's the expectation. Definitely for this
Hmm.
genre of music, you would expect it to be loud, just to be
Yeah.
blunt. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to follow the rules, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But just to say, I think you're sort of selling yourself a bit short if you're making a track that's really well composed
yeah, it's
and
so good.
you
Yeah.
know
Hmm.
would
And
fit into
trust
that
your.
type of genre. You know what I mean? I like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
melody. By the way, I mentioned the accent notes. Like I think it's around the 106
Yeah.
mark, and
Hmm.
it's like it's just a nice.
Hmm.
That's when you really nice little touch there. Just thought I'd mention
Yeah,
that.
and I also played with the glide where at some point I try to increase the glide so it's more glidey, whatever you want to call it, and then I pull back
Hmm.
on that. So I try to play with that a bit more. I hadn't done that before,
Did you
so
use like ozone or any other type of mastering? Probably not, but
no,
did you?
it's I'm just using the stock Ableton EQs, and then I'm using stock Ableton compression and sidechain. I do have kickstart for like the volume ducking sometimes,
Hmm.
but I didn't use that too much here. So it's mostly stock Ableton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would throw a limiter on the end there, and set it to like -1, and then raise your volumes up a bit or your master up, and work on the higher area EQ.
Yeah.
And trust your ears, don't chase the meters. That's what I always say, but I always listen to it and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, something's wrong here. And then I look at my meters and I'm like, oh, it's a little low here. So, that'll give you like your um, validation of what your ears are hearing sometimes.
I
I mean,
think
it
the
sounds like
main,
you have a lot of headroom, right? Like if you're at
Mm.
-6,
yeah.
-9, like man, you got
Yeah.
lots of room to work with.
So I'm doing that on purpose because what happens is that when I put it up on like SoundCloud, they artificially
Hmm.
increase the volume.
Right.
Hmm.
And so I'm now scared that I'm too loud when I'm mixing, even though it's not, right? And
Hmm.
so it's artificially boosting the volume on whatever platform I put it on. But when I'm listening to the actual sound file, like you guys were just listening to, it's not too loud.
Yeah, try exporting it out in several different ones
Hmm.
and put them up there temporarily. See which one you like, and then follow that one. I
Got
think.
it.
Yeah, I don't ever worry about SoundCloud. I mean, I use Audius mainly, but
Hmm.
I just as long as I'm not looking at the meters inside the DAW. I know it's got headroom in
Hmm.
there. So, and then I throw ozone on it. I mean, ozone pretty much fixes everything for me, but I would highly recommend that plugin. I just
It'll
throw
give you two or
ozone on there.
three. It'll give you about 2 or 3 luffs for sure, at
Yeah, and I
least.
throw it on everything I do, and I basically just let it listen to the loudest part of my track, and that's it. I don't touch it. It's like it
Yeah, it
does a
has
really
the
good job.
AI master assistant, which I'm
Yeah, version
sure
12 now is
I'm sure
even better.
people that
Yeah.
do mastering for a living cringe when we talk about
Hmm.
ozone, but for us mere mortals,
Yeah.
it saves us. I'm just gonna be honest. I think ozone, but a lot of people hate it,
Okay.
pros,
I mean, get
but
the mix right,
everyone
Hmm.
and then
uses it.
throw
So it's one of those
ozone on
things.
it.
Everyone uses it, but then no one wants to admit that they use it.
Got it.
I
I'll
just
admit I
admit
use
it.
it.
I admit it. Yeah, like I use it. I like the little
Hmm.
mat that, as Phil says, you pick the section of the track that's the loudest. It
Hmm.
listens to it and it gives you recommendations.
Hmm.
So it gives you a chance to at least learn how that software, and you'll notice how it does the EQing, which is really
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
offset some of the maximizer settings and whatever. I find it
Hmm.
interesting. One of the tools they have that comes in handy when you're really up against, like when you're really looking for that extra bass, master rebalance. It's a nice
Hmm.
little tool. So it can you can highlight the drums or the bass or the vocals, and it gives you like an extra couple of dBs. It's like cheating in a way. But
Hmm.
like I say, when you're not in this issue because you have a lot of headroom. But let's say you didn't have
Hmm.
a lot of headroom and you were like really fighting it, and you're like, all right, I need to get as much. You could use that and get away with quite a lot, to be honest with you. But
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend having that as a crutch that you use all the
Hmm.
time. But see what works for you. I would do research. Too bad Peter Wolf isn't here. He's our
Hmm.
resident techno guy, and he'd probably have some good recommendations for you. And the other Peter did
Hmm.
a lot of
All
stuff
right.
for Spotify. If you remember him,
Hmm.
he had a lot of
Yeah.
good
Hmm.
understanding. Like, there's actually an option in Spotify that he let us know that you can take off the compression. I didn't even know that. So
Hmm.
on Spotify, you can actually remove compression and listen to the
Interesting.
natural files. Yeah. So, but he had a point. I get confused sometimes, but if you master for, let's say, I don't know, 12 LUFs or 10 or whatever, Spotify makes it 14 and people debate about that kind of stuff. I don't
Hmm.
personally worry about that kind of stuff, but I think he had some opinions about it that I can't remember quite, you
Yeah, I
know.
have an opinion about what SoundCloud does because it makes it sound really not good when it takes what I output it with the higher volume. But anyways, yeah.
Oh, is that
Well,
right? Okay,
try
okay.
Audius because I
Okay.
do think Audius. Phil uses Audius. I use Audius. I think
Sure.
that Audius does have a slightly better sound.
Yeah.
Hmm.
On this conversation about ozone, so when I've used it, I have used it so many times, but I'm always trying to work that I wouldn't need it. And
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
therefore I'm
Absolutely.
always trying to mix my sound so that I don't hear a huge change when I put the ozone in.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the song tonight, I did not use ozone. I was able
Mm-hmm.
to get to the point in that song that I didn't require it. But oftentimes it will help me to get like an extra 2 or 3 lefts. The song I had tonight was a little um, softer than like a lower level than I often get, but it was because I was able to like that initial instrument that I was using was so powerful right from the beginning. I managed to right from the start with a really high luff when I started writing my song, so I didn't have to worry about it so much later.
Yeah. Worry about the
Was
mix first. Get the mix good, and
Yeah.
then throw ozone on as like the icing on the cake, and it usually does a pretty good job. If you give it pretty good information, it's going to make it that much better, easier.
okay.
If you give it crap, it's going to kind of emphasize that, So yeah.
The one that I had tonight, I had used an adaptive limiter. And just that I could lift it up 3 decibels and say what I want my headroom to be. And I didn't get any distortion. I was happy enough with it, so I didn't bother with the ozone.
And a lot of those online services, I might add, I've never used it, but I think SoundCloud itself has mastering. I don't know if anyone's ever
It
tried that.
it does. I'm also concerned of using that because I would rather do it myself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. I'm still early in this. So I'm like, if I do it myself, I'll at least learn what I'm doing.
I'm
And
with you.
yeah,
Yeah, if you're not in a big rush, it's better to take and learn. I've It's been very painful, and the group here has been so patient with me as I've constantly been learning. And sometimes it takes me a long time to like. I'm still just trying to get a grasp on reverb and things like that.
Yes, it's a topic that really can never be exhausted, let's be honest. And when you start throwing in different, like, wait till you try to master for vinyl and see what happens. Go down that
ooh,
rabbit hole, and your
Yeah.
head will explode. But anyway, because I recently did some dub plates, and I'm telling you, if you think mastering for digital man, it's like you can go right up to like 0 dB. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
vinyl, good luck. You gotta go
Yeah,
-3 if you're
you better
lucky.
find an expert at that point.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks for sharing, uh, and let's keep at it. I think it's a really good track. Okay, Lawrence again. He hasn't shown up. I don't see any messages from him, so I'll just default to you, Phil.
All right. Yeah, so this is work in progress. There's a few more things I want to add to it as far as like adding not really solos to it, but adding some solo type instruments to it and maybe some flourishes here and there. Jeff, I think, has heard this track already, but it's called A Beautiful View. I, I'm a Reason user. I used Omnisphere for this track for all the sounds, and I got a sound pack recently from Leftrum, which does he makes his own library sound libraries for Omnisphere and other VSTs, and then he curates stuff. And he curated this one. I can't remember who was the author, but it was called 2275. So I just loaded up some sounds and started playing, and the first sound you hear is called A Beautiful View, so that's why I named the track that. So anyway, it's a work in progress, and um, hope you like it.
All right, let's give it a listen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't know what I would change, to be honest with you, Philip. That sounds pretty good to me. Um, really good.
Yep. I
From the intro right to the ending. Never got tired. I could just keep listening to that.
Hmm.
Where is it in your mind, Phil, in terms of completion?
It's almost done. I definitely want to add a few little ear candy items in there, and I have some ideas on like maybe a Vangelis type, Blade Runner-ish type uh, solo instrument on there, or maybe even a little bit of electric guitar or something on there to just kind of in a couple of parts there. I think it could use a little bit of
Mm.
extra.
Vangelis, yeah, man.
Hmm.
I can hear that.
All the voices are nice and crisp, beautiful. You know,
mm,
the voices you selected were awesome, and
Thanks.
a lot of the long strung out notes with beating in them
Hmm.
was very, really nice touch. Very graceful, beautiful.
Yeah, I found that on that one that has a bit of a rhythm behind it, if I just bring the mod wheel in slowly, it will start to add that rhythmic pulsating that's built into the patch. So yeah, did a little bit of automation on some of the tracks there for that.
I like the drums too, by the way. I didn't mention that. Nice choice.
Hmm.
I like the little delay effect that you got going on.
Hmm. Yeah,
Works
if I
well.
was listening to it at work today, and I was thinking I should boost the snare or the clappish type hit a little bit, just to bring it a little bit more into the mix. But yeah, that's all Omnisphere, no drum loops or anything, or it's all just patches from Omnisphere. So
Yeah, very visual, very epic, and a good closer. I mean, I'm not saying we're closed per se, but
hmm.
definitely a good track to kind of you know right off into the sunset, so to
Hmm.
speak.
That's what I had in the image there for the track. There's the beautiful view. There's the sun. Go get it.
mm.
That was just an AI thing I threw together with the name of the track just to see what Midjourney would come up with, and that's what it came up with. So
Oh yeah, yeah. AI, man, is taking a turn for talk about a public relations
mm, yeah,
dive.
yeah.
There's some very negative opinions out there. Just in the normal mainstream, I happen to be watching, of all things, Business News Network,
Hmm.
and the guy was interviewing someone about like books being written by AI, like flooding Amazon,
Hmm.
and I was like, I hadn't considered that there's people trying to like cash in on it and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Anyway, I'm sort of
Well, they've been doing
changing
the
subject.
AI generated coloring books for a long time. Have you seen
Oh,
some
that
of them?
was
They're
the
like
one.
the
Yeah.
horses have like five legs or something,
Oh,
and
wow,
yeah,
really? Yeah.
it's they're getting better, but yeah, it's pretty hilarious
I still
sometimes.
say, based on a lot of the video that Peter was doing and yourself,
Mm.
I thought there's still some tasteful, uh, good use of AI. I'm not willing to
Oh
throw
yeah.
the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. But for sure, there's what people are referring to as slop, and that's
Hmm.
like the new term you hear all the time, like AI slop, and people trying to get away with this kind of crap. But anyway, I'm sorry to bring it up, but it's a relevant subject in a way. We're all dealing with it, and I think as artists, obviously this is a topic that's been talked about here in our group. But
Hmm.
I think Claude, who wasn't not here tonight, has started a discussion on our meetup about this topic, and
Hmm.
sort of comes and goes. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny how there's just this natural aversion, I think. Once you see too much of it, I guess. Well, and okay, I'll say
Hmm.
this: we already and now music-wise, if AI is contributing to all this, like we already had a lot of
The
music that
visuals.
was pretty
Hmm.
low effort, frankly. Like that's not always a bad thing, by the way. Like I'm a pretty
Hmm.
open-minded guy, but there's a lot of crap out there. You know what I mean? I try not to be a negative person, And if AI is just contributing to that crap, oh my God, we're gonna have like
Mm-hmm.
oceans of this stuff. So I don't know. I think it's actually beneficial to artists. You know what I mean? I think people who
Mm-hmm.
actually have talent will shine through as usual, right? So, that's my 2 cents on it. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Learn
good
to learn
track.
to
Just get back.
harness it in the right way.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's a tool, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like anything, as they say. It's an old, but it is true, even though it may be a
Mm-hmm.
cliche. A knife, you can use a knife for something good. You can use it for something
Mm-hmm.
bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
neutral, really, right? And a lot of stuff, technology fits into that category. And the thing that I find weird about AI though is that it hallucinates
Mm-hmm.
and it makes up stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
AI literally
Oh
it
yeah.
hallucinates and
Mm-hmm.
it is not reliable, frankly. It really
Mm-hmm.
isn't for a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I think people realize like, yeah, you know what I mean? For certain things may be useful or whatever, but you know,
Yeah. Certainly for music videos and stuff, I generate like the last video I did, I generated like 700 and some stills and videos just to get 3 minutes of or 2.5 minutes of usable footage.
all right, based
So
on like text
yeah.
prompts, you mean, right?
Oh yeah. I mean you have to generate the stills first, and then you generate the animations off of those stills, and then you have to edit it all together. There's still a lot of work involved there, but that'll eventually go away, I guess. But
I
it's
found me personally, I always like starting with images
mhm.
rather than texting, like writing it. I would just say, okay, here's what
Oh,
image I want, and then
hmm,
modify. You know what I mean?
Well,
right.
would
But
Mid-Journey allow you to do that, Phil? Just to start with a
Yep.
photograph?
Oh yeah.
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 you can animate a photograph, right? Like
Hmm.
sometimes it looks extremely bad, sometimes it looks amazing. It depends what you're
I mean,
after, but yeah, it's a
I
cool
don't know if
feature.
Lenny will let me share my
Yeah, yeah,
screen,
yeah.
but
Go ahead, go ahead. I
let me.
didn't know that it was even restricted.
Yeah.
I just want to mention, though, but like I used it for flyers a lot of times, for example, where I had a record on one flyer and I had AI make it rotate. You know what I mean? So I had like this video where the record was actually moving. Now, mind you, I had to actually go in and edit it so that it was the correct speed. Like I actually measured the speed of a 33 and a third record, how long. But long story short, you can basically create motion from a still image.
Yeah. So this is what I'm working on right now, but doing a Halloween thing.
Wow,
But yeah.
spooky.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I mean, I use ChatGPT to help me prompt stuff as well. So, I get kind of the images I want, and then you can definitely just throw a frame in here. So you pick a starting frame. So I did that with my photo here, or my front yard, and I just tell it to animate that, give it some text on like what I want it to do, and let's see if I can find something here. I'll go to me. Let's see here. They need to work on their storage stuff, but uh, uh, trouble finding it. Where is? Oh, here we go. Photos. Yeah, here we go. So like here's a picture of that picture of me at the beach, right? So I had it animate that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean it's pretty crazy what you can do. Let me go to another one here.
And that's pretty
Um,
convincing, right? Like if you were just
oh
casually
yeah,
looking at that, you wouldn't know that that was an AI
I
animation.
mean this is me when I was a little kid, but
Wow. Incredible.
And that's AI animated?
that's Midjourney. Yeah, I just gave it this still
My
image.
gosh.
This is the still I gave it, and
Yeah.
I just told it the baby smiles and crawls across the floor, and that's what it did.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So just think of it another way. That's what's being done right now, like September 2025, available to the general public, right? Like I'm not saying that Phil doesn't have some fancy package or whatever, but we're not exactly like, you know what I mean? Like imagine what's going to be around with like, some more exponential acceleration of the technology. Like honestly, I believe personally, this is what I see. We will be able to go back to any movie ever made and like just alter it. And
Yeah.
I'm already ready to do it, man. Quentin Tarantino is gonna die in my version of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm just saying. Charles Manson is gonna kill him. That's it. The
Oh
perfect
no!
ending.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, so, this is the one I did, Warriors of the Sky, and you can see the number of images I generated just to get some footage, so here's a scene, and I actually extended it twice. So that's the first run. This is the second run, and the continuation goes on. He tends to speed up over time, but it's pretty convincing.
Well,
No, absolutely, man.
it has
Absolutely.
a spatial element and timing element that makes it makes it captivating. It makes it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see what he does here. Um, yeah, I mean, there's some strange ones as well. So anyway, I just picked the best one, so this one's it's okay.
I like it.
I didn't like how he sped up a lot at the end, but anyway, it's pretty amazing. The hardest thing I've found is like here I wanted to have um, some jets flying over like terrain really low, but then all of a sudden you'll get jets that are like down almost in the water, or here's some in the city, like that guy's going right through that building. Um, so you kind of have to really spend a lot of time picking and choosing what you want to do. You get a lot of weirdness too, like these guys running after and then the wing's gonna cut these guys off. So yeah, I mean it's not perfect, but anyway, I will turn it back over.
Yeah, no, it's good. I
So my
think
point
there's
is
a lot of
you have
potential
to
there.
generate a lot of stuff just to get usable stuff out of it.
Right, there's a huge human element in the way you approach it. Even though the
Hmm.
AI is generating it, you're editing it and choosing and whatnot. And I think some
Hmm.
people go obviously the what is that? They go for the lowest fruit hanging or whatever, and they just take the easy
Lowest
way
hanging
out.
fruit.
And
Yeah.
next
Hmm.
thing you know, they're flooding Amazon with like books written by AI, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it ruins it for
Well,
the
that's just
people
a
out
money
there that
grab,
are.
though.
Hmm.
People
It
do
ruins it for the
anything for
people out
money.
there that are actually trying to be, to do something better with it, right? And
Hmm. Yeah, like in my case, I wrote that song back in 2017, and it really needed a video, and I just could not find stock footage. I'm not Michael Bay. I can't go out and like hire the U.S. military to fly jets for me. So I had to look for alternatives. So it sat on the shelf until AI came along, and I'm like, let me give this a try. And 750 tests later, I had 2.5 minutes of usable footage.
you mean you don't have access to like $50 million budgets in
No,
Hollywood to make,
no.
CGI
Yeah,
explosions?
yeah. Maybe my next one will be a Lego car animation. But yeah. No. So
But yeah,
anyway,
no,
I
just
use
back to the
AI for
music
that
though,
kind of stuff.
Philip. As much as I appreciate all your AI stuff, your music is just
Hmm.
next level. So really appreciate, we were talking about earlier how we just have certain expectations from people, and you're one of those
Hmm.
people. I'm always looking forward to listening to what you have to share because it's
Oh, thank
almost
you.
always like high quality. So very good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, I think that echoing what Lenny says, it's the quality, but it's also the fact that you know how to communicate what you're doing, and so I
Hmm.
have an opportunity to learn from you, and I think
Hmm.
that's been really important to me because not everybody can do that. Is willing to share, but also is able to communicate.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Isn't half
yeah,
the
no, for
isn't half
sure.
the battle sticking with it, right? Just
Hmm.
doing it doing it day in and day out.
Yeah.
For
I've been
years.
using Reason. I've been using Reason since 2001. So
There you
yeah,
go.
I've had a lot of experience with that DAW, and then as it's grown over the years and getting into other stuff. But yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still watching YouTube videos and figuring out how tools work and stuff. So it's a lifelong process, I think.
But that for me is that exploration, that journey. That's where the joy is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I find pleasureful. The excitement of creating something and playing around with it and seeing where it goes. Yeah.
hmm And then I throw ozone on it at the end. No, I'm just kidding.
It sounds great.
Sounds like crap before then. No. Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyways, so next month will be our Halloween theme. So, in case anyone wants to come to the meetup do we want to do like a Halloween challenge? Anyone feeling that, or
I'm
should we
already
just?
working on it. You saw my
Oh
creature.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, okay.
that's where we're going. Okay.
Okay, you know how? So yeah, I mean, not that I would usually stop someone from sharing a couple of tracks anyway, but if you do a Halloween theme, you can do a Halloween and then another track as well. So that way you're not
Cool.
only shoehorned into only doing that. So I'll put that in the details. But yeah, some Halloween hard dance. Yeah, I like that, Peter. Should be good. It's start of the party season, as I was saying. Usually, in my opinion, from Halloween all the way to like New Year's Eve, man, is like there's gonna be some. Actually, I'll throw it. I know I've been bad with the Discord, but there are some upcoming events that I wanted to. I'll share as well in the group. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Um, Marcus Visionary in November is going to be doing a pretty good show. For drum and bass, I highly, highly recommend that particular one. I think it's called A Proper Rave. Uh, so I'll share that, but that's still November, so we got time for that. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, oh yeah, and Shy FX is coming October 10th. Destiny events. I mean, Shy FX is like old school drum and bass legend. So if you want to witness and experience some like old school jungleism, that is definitely highly recommended. I'm obviously
And where's that?
Destiny events. Where is that? It's a warehouse party actually. Great. 131 McCormick Street. So, and Destiny is like an event company that I mean, I used to go to Destiny raves in the 90s. So they've been around since the early days here in Toronto. I was just gonna say I'm obviously more, like more drum and bass centric, but by all means, the group has like a lot of different. We're agnostic, frankly, as you've noticed, obviously. So every type of genre is acceptable here. But in terms of what is popular in Toronto, there's lots of things going on, and so every once in a while we have people sharing different things that are happening. But I certainly can fill you in on some of the drum and bass stuff. That much I can do, and that's about it. But yeah, so if we want to just call it a night, thank you once again, everyone. Really appreciate all the quality music and discussion, and I will post at bare minimum in the Discord the Destiny event there on October 10th, Shy FX. But otherwise, yeah, thank you all for joining. Really nice having you here, and yeah, thank you. And I just realized it's lo-fi deity, so it's a play on low fidelity. Lo-fi deity,
hmm
nice. I like that. Thank you for joining. I hope to see you again, and Peter as well. Good to see you again. Good to see you all.
Thank you,
And
Lenny.
yeah,
Thanks,
have a great night,
everyone.
everyone. Take care. See you again
Cheers.
soon. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.